It was more than just an otherworldly catch by Trout. It was a play that had supposedly objective members of the media walking around the press box with their hands on their heads. The Senate approved 4 pro-gun House bills. If passed, they will allow you to take guns into low-security government buildings and freely discharge weapons on private property. It was a media madhouse here Wednesday morning at USC's campus as Pat Hayden met with the media to discuss the firing of Steve Sarkisian. Perhaps most shocking of all the information given was that Hayden hasn't even spoken with Sarkisian since Sunday morning. Going into the bottom of the 9th inning, Angels fans were still hopeful even though they were down a run, and that's because center fielder Mike Trout was leading off the inning. When I first arrived for the earlier games today, about half of the lower bowl was filled. For the Corona game, the entire lower bowl was filled, as well as some of the upper deck. A ground ball was hit down to Taylor Featherston at second base, and the crowd roared, knowing that was the final out. Or so they thought, until Featherston reached for the ball. Norte Vista running back Freddie Hawley says there's one reason above all others that he chose to join Arizona State's football team next season, and that's the family-like atmosphere that he felt around the Sun Devils. Ken Batdorf has coached 21 seasons and hundreds of players at Norte Vista High School in Riverside, but he still remembers clearly the first time he saw running back Freddie Hawley.
Actually, the first time I saw Freddie was I saw a clip of him playing as a Pop Warner football player or junior All-American. And I thought, damn, that kid's pretty good.
Hawley began playing for Norte Vista as a sophomore. He transferred from Ramona High School in Riverside, meaning he had to sit out for 5 games during that first season. But he still rushed for over 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns, according to MaxPreps.com. Despite his first big year, coaches and players say Hawley has only gotten better as both a player and a leader.
Hardworking guy. Freddie is a hardworking guy. You would think someone at his caliber, you know, they're trying to take days off or do whatever. But when we get to practice, it's like he's trying to work to be D1.
What makes that impressive is that Hawley is already a big D1 prospect. He became highly recruited following his junior season when he ran for over 2,500 yards and scored 31 touchdowns.
We scrimmaged Vista Marietta. Vista Marietta is ranked in the top teams in the state of California. And people are like, why would you play them? After we got done, everybody said, we understand. Freddie made a run where not only did he spin off a linebacker, outran the strong safety, and then hurdled the corner. Now, I told everybody I'd teach that. There's no way I could teach that, and it's just God's gift.
Hawley will be heading to the desert next fall after accepting a scholarship offer from Arizona State University. What drew him to the Sun Devils is exactly what he loves about Norte Vista.
Everything comes back to family. I have family in Phoenix too, and it's not like I'm just out there alone by myself. So I have family support if I need something, if I need extra money, if I need to talk to somebody, my family's just miles away.
Hawley also felt a family-like connection with Todd Graham and the rest of the Sun Devil coaches.
They really care about, they're not just, oh, I want you to just play football for me. They're like, I want to see you succeed, I want to see you get a degree, and I want to see you succeed in life.
On the field, Hawley's style and ASU's offense seem to be suited for one another.
They're really on the rise. Like, I'm glad I just got to commit to them and stuff like that, and they offered me because it's a perfect fit. Their offensive scheme, stuff like that. They told me they just want to give me the ball in open space, kind of like they did with DJ Foster, DeMario Richards, guys like that, like big guys right now. So pretty much I'm just really excited to be part of the Sun Devil Nation.
No matter what heights Hawley achieves during his upcoming collegiate career, nothing will surprise the players and coaches from Norte Vista, who truly believe he can do anything.
The lineman came to me and said, Coach, we'd like to see Freddie run for 4,000 yards. And we were joking, saying, I wonder if he could get 3, and the lineman set a pretty lofty goal. And I'm like, well, do you guys realize he has to average almost 300 yards a game to do that? They just looked at me like, yeah, so.
Hawley is looking forward to living up to the hype as he aims to become a future star for the rising program in Tempe. For Cronkite Sports in Los Angeles, I'm Nick Smith. When thinking of the Arizona desert, wine might not be what immediately comes to mind.
Flying Leap really started as a small business venture of myself and my best friend Mark Moeller. We wanted to do a small business together. Believe it or not, wine was the one thing that we both had interest and experience in.
And he has farming in his background, and I've got winemaking in my family background. It was like this perfect match for us to do that, for him to do the farming and for me to do the winemaking.
Mark Beers and Mark Moeller founded Flying Leap Vineyards in 2011. Their main tasting room is in Elgin, where they are one of a dozen wineries. The mountains, soil, and cool climate lend itself perfectly to wine growing. The Marks know that the farming and growing of the grapes are just as important as the actual winemaking process itself. Instead of trying to grow every wine under the sun, they've narrowed down a select variety that grows extremely well in the southern Arizona climate.
We grow wine grapes here that are suited to the Arizona climate. I'm a big believer in not going against nature. If you want to drink great Spanish varietals, Rhone varietals, Arizona has much to offer.
Our winery in particular is really fun to come to in the fall because this is where we make our wine. So our customers can actually sit here and watch us make wine, and routinely they're back in the back walking around as we're crushing and pressing wine out. It's a lot of fun.
We're so busy learning, we're so busy talking to folks, we're so busy doing the operation here that we just don't have time to think about anything else. I don't have time to be intimidated.
The combination of farming, winemaking, and friendship seems to be making Flying Leap a smooth success. For Cronkite News, I'm Nick Smith.